What is going on, guys? It's Rick back again with another video, and today I bring you the 8th round of Lesser Chess Open, and pretty much this will be the last round that I'll show. I lost my 9th round game, which was the last one, so pretty much in that 9th round I got completely destroyed by a 18 something rated player. Yeah, and yeah, I just got completely destroyed in that game. No chance. I wanted to show you guys that, but yeah, I lost the game. Let's get right into this match here. I was playing with white pieces, so double white piece round, which is very nice. And yeah, my opponent was 1863 low player. And let's see how it went. So I started with d4, he went knight f6, knight c3, d5 here, and bishop f4. So the Jobava London. And yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've been having pretty good results, honestly, against very strong opposition. So I was very happy with this. So my opponent here goes to g6. So it's pretty much the same setup that the opponent a few rounds ago played against me, the guy that just gave me a rook and I won. So I was pretty happy to see that this is like the Grunfeld system against the Jobava London, and honestly, it's not that threatening. Honestly, it's pretty okay. I enjoy playing against it. So yeah, here I could just go e3. He goes bishop g7, and here I go knight b5. Pressuring this pawn on c7. It's pretty, as you guys have been seeing, it's a pretty thematic idea to bring the knight out to a6, black's knight to a6, then c6. And then this, you argue that this knight, even though you lost a tempo going knight b5 and knight c3, you put the knight on a very bad square, and you argue that that is worth doing. So yeah, he goes knight e6. I go h3 first. Here I go h3. I don't go knight f3 or bishop e2 because I just want to protect this bishop against knight h5. This bishop is very annoying in this diagonal. So yeah, I want to keep it. So h3, he castles. I go knight f3, c6, knight c3, and here he goes directly to with knight c7, which is fine. But yeah, this knight here on c7, I mean, it can go to e6 for sure, but I just bring back my bishop, and yeah, it's the knight here is not really supporting the c5 break as well. So that's the whole point of going knight b5. I go bishop d3 here. Bishop d3, I don't know if it was the best, honestly. I think maybe bishop e2 would be actually a slightly better, because in these positions, you always have to watch out for like e5 followed by e4 forking the two pieces. But at this moment, I have a good control over e5. And yeah, I mean, maybe I want to push e4 quickly because, yeah, it will be hard for him to push e5, as you will see in the game. So here he goes knight e8, which, yeah, he's trying to reroute the knight to d6. Here in the game, I was a little bit confused, you know, but it makes sense. But it feels like he's wasting a lot of time. But yeah, I have to show why he's wasting a lot of time. Here I just castle, which is very natural. The computer actually preferred like something like a4 maybe, but castles, no, the computer also likes castles. So yeah, castles, knight d6. Now both knights are protecting are fighting for the e4 square. So I'm probably not gonna play e4. So I've changed plans. I go knight e5 here, which, yeah, the computer doesn't like, but it's very natural in this type of positions to go knight e5 and to plant the knight on this square. Also, yeah, I mean, any b5s here, I just take the pawn and stuff like that, and yeah, I have pressure with the knight on e5. It's just annoying for my opponent. He goes bishop f5, trying to trade his bishop that wasn't doing nothing for my good bishop. And here, you know, like, I took, which, yeah, maybe, like, if I had developed the bishop to e2 earlier, this wouldn't come with the tempo of attacking my bishop. So yeah, I feel like I should have kept the bishop on e2, but yeah, you're always learning, right? Small just mistake, I think. Nothing major. Nothing major. Here I take, I don't know. I don't know. I took because I wanted, I didn't want to let him play like knight e4. And yeah, all of a sudden my bishop isn't doing nothing, and I might as well put his knight on a worse square. So that's what I did. Like, the knight on f5 is really not doing anything here. So he probably has to go back to d6. That was my plan. I think it made sense. So I go a4. Of course, I'm probably not gonna play for e4 anymore. It's gonna be like too time wasting. So yeah, I just decided to expand with a4. And here he played a5, which is fine, stopping me from playing a5. I go rook a3, and here, like, the engine doesn't like this, because, like, it doesn't really do much, and just puts the rook on a weird square. The engine just prefers, like, actually, the engine prefers, like, queen d3, I think, with the idea of actually going through with e4. But I decided to play a little bit more creative and play rook a3 with the idea of rook b3 and attacking the b7 pawn. And yeah, I like this idea. And yeah, the computer doesn't like it, but I like it. It's weird. So he goes back, knight d6, probably eyeing knight c4, and I go queen e2. So I think with queen e2, I just stop him from going knight c4 at the moment. I would just win a pawn. And I'm also, like, fighting against b5. Although, yeah, I mean, it can, if he plays b5 here, I have this and this, so it's not really an issue. So queen e2 here, and rook e6. I like to see this move because this move shows that he's kind of playing into my weird game. Although it makes a lot of sense, this move by him, but it was funny because look at this position. It's not every day that you look at this position. Like, pawn on a4, pawn on a5, rook on a3, rook on a6. And yeah, it's kind of a weird position where it's kind of hard to tell what's going on or who has the advantage, in my opinion. The computer just has equal. And yeah, of course, I think his idea is if I play rook b3, he plays rook b6. He kind of copycats me. And yeah, if I take, it takes. He has pressure here. And yeah, it was funny. It was funny to play this game. Very cool to have this unorthodox position, which, is just creative. I go knight e2. And yeah, my idea was just to reroute my knight to d3. Yeah, I felt like my knight on c3. This is the problem of playing like the Joe Bava London. Is that the knight on c3 in these London structures is not like the best place for the knight. Normally d2 is way better. But yeah, it's just the price you pay for playing the Joe Bava London. Nothing is perfect. No opening is perfect. So yeah. But here, yeah, I reroute my knight. But I didn't want to reroute it to b1, d2. I wanted to reroute it to d3, which I thought would be very nice square. So I go knight e2. He goes rook b6, attacking my pawn. I go b3, and here, I mean, the computer likes knight d3, and it makes sense protecting this pawn. And here is very awkward. Look at this rook that's in this cage, but I was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna play like this. He goes knight d7, which is a big mistake, actually. And yeah, I totally missed the point here. Knight d7, of course, threatens to take here. And after takes, just ruins my pawn structure. But here, there's only a move that makes sense, and it's kind of in the spirit of what I wanted to do. But yeah, I missed a cool idea here. And if you guys want to pause and try to find what is the idea, like what is the move for white here. So yeah, the move actually is knight takes d7 here, and you might ask why. Just, just what is the idea? And here, like, of course he takes, and here I play knight c1. And the idea here is to go knight d3, knight c5, and I'm attacking the queen eventually. And I also keep control of the e5 square. Let's say plays like something like rook e8, I don't know. I play knight d3, and I have control of the e5 square. I'm also threatening in the future to go knight c5, maybe, and yeah, I can bring my rook back, and I have a completely, I have a good position, honestly, and yeah, that was the idea. But I didn't see this sequence, unfortunately. I just played c4. I wanted to open things up and to start, creating some imbalances, some complications here. But yeah, c4 is just it just fails. It just fails like, and he plays knight e5 here. I take with the pawn. I don't want to take with the bishop. I take with the pawn here. He plays knight e8, which is a mistake. Here he had to find knight e4. And yeah, I have some problems now. I definitely have some problems with my pieces here. And yeah, let's say I just take here. You can trade here, and it's a complicated position, but yeah, the engine really prefers black here. And yeah, it's kind of weird, like these pieces now are kind of weird, and yeah, this knight is actually strong here. F3 is always a move, but it's kind of weakening. But yeah, let's see how the game went. So he didn't do this. He traded and played 98, which kind of put me back in the game. I play queen d2. I thought this was a very nice move, honestly, practically speaking, because I'm attacking d5, and he also can't take here because the queen has no protection. So I thought it was a very clever move. And here he played rook e6, protecting the pawn. And here I just decided to take, and trade everything. And I thought I would be fine here. Honestly, my idea with this whole sequence was that I was gonna have the b5 square for my knight, and I thought that would be nice. I go knight c3 with the idea of going knight b5. I'm also attacking the pawn on d5, which is nice. He goes knight c7, okay, protecting the pawn. And okay, yeah, I totally missed this idea then, because now after knight c7 he's actually protecting the square on b5. So yeah, here you have the answer why this was not all that great after all. Here I play rook d1, which I don't know if it was actually the right move. Maybe it wasn't. Because it just goes e6 and my rook on d1 is not doing anything there. Maybe I should go directly with rook c1 though. But the thing is that I get pinned immediately. Although I can trade, maybe. Yeah, my rook on a3 is doing nothing. That's a problem. Maybe, yeah. But yeah, I go rook d1, he goes e6. I go rook a1, trying to bring my rook back into the game. He goes rook c6. I go rook ac1. He goes knight a6, which I don't like. I didn't like because it just gives me he actually gives me the b5 square. I don't know why I didn't go for b5. I think this would be better. Yeah, I go to b5. I go to d6 next. I don't know why I actually went. I mean, knight e2 with the idea of going knight d4, but I mean the knight on d4 is gonna end up on b5. So why not go b5 immediately? I think I've made a huge mistake here now that I'm looking. Yeah, I think the knight on b5 would be way better. At knight e2, he doubled the rooks on the c file. He took with the pawn, and I played rook c1. He played c5, and here, yeah, I go knight d4. Can't take because it's pinned. But I'm gonna end up on b5, and I could have already been there, and it would be way better than knight e2. Knight e2 was a very bad move now that I'm looking at the game again. Actually, I made analysis on this game before, and I didn't really realize that how bad 92 was. But yeah, it was very bad. He goes King F8, and I go Knight B5 here, trying to get some control over the key squares in the position. He goes King E7, very nice, just improving his king. Um, and yeah, I go Bishop G3 with the idea of going F4, protecting this pawn. You know, my position is definitely worse, and here I'm kind of fighting for some type of equality if I can. He goes King C7, King D7 actually, excuse me. I go F4, my plan. He goes F6, which is nice. Takes, and here it's just D1. And it comes with the idea also to just take the knight. And I mean, the computer hates this. But I thought it was just simple, you know. My thought process was, okay, his knight is way better than my bishop right now. So I'll just take it. But the computer doesn't like it. The computer wants me to hold tight and not trade pieces right now. But honestly, I don't really get it at the moment. What is the idea of keeping the bishop? I'm not strong enough to understand this concept yet in this position specifically, so I will not try to just say random things here. I take the knight, he takes with the a pawn, and now I have a passed pawn. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't really matter that much, but wait a second. So here I go a5. I honestly didn't know what to do in this position, so I decided let's just create some problems and use my passed pawn that he just gave me. The computer just wants me to slowly improve my position with rook f2, and also like rook b1. Are you serious? Like, I'm not gonna play rook b1. What is that kind of move? So yeah, when the engine suggests as the second best move rook b1, you know that you are in big trouble. So I go a5. And here the engine already says -3 for black, and it's equal material. So yeah, you can see that my position just completely in shambles. The computer says bishop e2. Here, bishop e2, rook c2, bishop f6, back. I mean, what is going on? I don't know. So yeah, here he does a very natural move, just attacking my a5 pawn. I push it to a6, so trying to make a queen, trying to mess up the game, make it a little bit complicated, you know. He might blunder. And here he goes, bishop b6. So yeah, the computer already likes my position a bit. Here it's kind of tricky though, because it's threatening to play c4 and then to take on e3 and get fork my king and my rook and win the game on the spot. So I play king f2, of course stopping that idea, protecting the pawn. He goes e5 though, and here e5 apparently is a big mistake, because I can just take, and here he goes king e6, and apparently here I'm better, I'm way better. Apparently here I'm almost winning actually, and it's crazy because how in just a space of 4 moves he just went from completely winning to actually being nearly lost. Here the computer already says plus 1.2, which, I mean, it's crazy. And here the idea is just rook a1. And yeah, I guess just push the pawn, dude. Just push the pawn. But let's just go a bit deeper in this variation. So rook a1, it says rook a8, of course, makes sense. And here it just says king e2, actually. King e2, let's say he takes here, for example, king d3. And I don't know how this is actually winning for white. But yeah, here, I mean, just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. c4 check, apparently. Bishop takes c4. And b3, yeah. I'm not going to try to analyze this anymore. Okay, I've had enough. I don't understand why white is that much better. Maybe because all the pieces are stuck to defending this pawn, but can't he just approach? I don't know. But yeah, of course I didn't see that. After he played king e6, I played knight d6, which seems natural. I'm just attacking this rook, and yeah, honestly, can't really say what else I'm doing, honestly. So he goes rook f8 check. I go king e2. He takes the pawn here, and I go knight b7. So yeah, I planted my knight on that GC square, and yeah, let's see how the game proceeded. Rook c8 here. I play king d3, which apparently is a mistake. Here he plays king e6, which is another big mistake. And here I play e4. I just wanted to trade as many pawns as possible, try to simplify the position, and you know, here I wasn't really fighting for the draw. I actually was, maybe this can go either way, honestly. Why not? Here he plays king e5, I take, he takes, and I play king c2. Yeah, I'm completely clueless on what I should do in this position. And I think my opponent is also clueless because we're just making so many blunders. And this is why you study endgames. I always say that. That's why I've been actually taking a lot of time reading endgame books and doing exercises and studying, because it's crazy how important endgames are. So he goes rook a8. I go check. He goes king c6, and I go rook a1. And here he goes bishop c7. So here's a big problem. Apparently, the position is completely equal. Although we were kind of getting low on time. When I say low, it's probably like 10 minutes on the clock for both, I believe. And yeah, the problem that I saw was my knight kind of has no squares besides a5, right? And he kind of threats. He's kind of threatening to go king b6, take my pawn, and then take my knight. Also, let's imagine that I do nothing like this, and it just, I don't do anything. I do like this, and he just takes the pawn. I take, he takes, and oh, he actually can't take because of this pawn. I'm afraid of something like this. But there's nothing. He can't do that. So yeah, I completely missed that. Also, he can't really go. Okay, let's say he goes here, though. Let's say he goes here. Now I can go knight e6, but isn't he threatening to? No. I can go knight c4, yeah. Wow. Bishop c7 here, d3. What about here again? a7, like, oh my god, I didn't see any of this. Wow, and here I'm better. Endgames again, guys. Damn, I really need to study this, though. This is crazy. I really need to study this way harder than what I'm doing here in the video, you know? This is very interesting. But yeah, I was afraid of him taking this pawn, you know, threatening to take this pawn, you know. But apparently there's nothing here. There's literally nothing. I can just do nothing, and he can't really take this pawn. He can't really go here because my knight takes, and he can't really check me, and you know, I'm kind of threatening to go here, so it's kind of crazy how this is just equal, because no one can improve their position without making a concession or losing material. And I totally missed this, which, yeah, it's kind of sad, because do you guys think this position was hard to see, that it was completely equal and there was nothing going on? In the game, I kind of panicked and I played knight a5 because I just thought that this knight was going to be trapped. But this loses because of bishop takes, rook takes, and now he does what I was fearing. So actually, by playing knight a5, I actually gave him what I was scared about. But if I didn't touch my knight and I just like improved my king position, I could even shuffle my rook, I would be fine and it would be a draw. But here the problem is that now he's actually gonna win the pawn, And this endgame is just losing. I'm just gonna scroll through. This is like basic endgame technique. It's just a pawn and I resign. But let's go back to that position. It's very interesting how you know, nothing here was going on. Like, he doesn't really have moves to improve his position here. And yeah, I can just go probably king d3 and just chill. I can just chill here, you know? Maybe I can even go up the board. I can go up the board, and if he checks me, maybe he's in actual trouble. Can I go here? Oh no, there I get checkmated by rook here. Yeah, I get checkmated. If I go here, I get checkmated. So I just chill out like this. And I guess just playing c4 doesn't help. Just lose a pawn, and yeah, he's not really threatening anything, right? Here he is already losing. If he moves the rook like that, if he goes a little bit too crazy, he just loses because I just promote. It's crazy how this position is completely equal, but in the game I was so afraid. But yeah, I don't know about you guys that play also competitive chess like this, slow games, but when I get below 10 minutes, I really panic a lot. Even though we have 30 seconds increment per move, I kind of panic a lot, and I kind of don't think straight. I lose the ability to kind of calculate properly, and you actually saw that in the second round of Lesser Chess Open, or the third round, the second game that I showed with this tournament. I actually kind of panicked in the end game when I was completely winning. But yeah, I don't know what you guys recommend for me to work on. Maybe just play more like in real life blitz, or just, you know, just do something about the nerves or whatever. I don't know. Like, it's kind of hard to just do something about the nerves. 'Cause what am I gonna do if I can't, if I just get too stressed when I'm low on the clock? Just don't get low on the clock. That's kind of impossible if like your opponent is challenging you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just really get good at end games, and you won't even have to think. You just do the moves. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say what I should do to improve this part of the game. Maybe it just comes with experience and time, and just you know, going through it a lot of times, and you know, kind of get used to it, to that pressure. But yeah, kind of unfortunate. I lost the game, as you guys saw, and it was just this mistake, this fatal critical position, where if I just stopped for a moment and realized that he had no threats, I would just shuffle the king back and forth. And if he tried to push for a win, I don't know if he would like really try to push for the win hard, but if he tried to push for the win hard, he could even end up losing, because my a6 pawn, my passed pawn, actually became really strong and dangerous for him. Sorry. But yeah, this was the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Next video will be the start of another tournament that I played in August, and yeah, on August, sorry, on August, you say on. But yeah, this was it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this very interesting and crazy game. Bye bye. Take care.